Whoa, and we are back live and for another exciting episode here at the Paranormal Voice. Michael John, how are you, brother?
I'm tremendous. How are you, Mr. Dale?
I'm doing it. I'm glad to be here hanging out with you tonight. And so, yes. So, we forgot. Good morning, good afternoon, whatever it is, wherever you might be in this great big dimension that we call a universe. We welcome all of our TPV Nation, and we are live, folks. That's right. And I'll tell you right now, folks, if you've not heard about this, if you've not seen it, you must be living under the deepest rock possible. Folks, this Saturday night, Michael John, the Paranormal Voice, and myself are halftime sponsors of one of the biggest paranormal events happening to date. So let's just kick this off right now. Let's just play this for our audience. And of course, it doesn't want to play. I tell you, that promo, wow, what a great job that Rob of Get Haunted did with putting this video together. Like I said, an amazing event happening this Saturday night, April 22nd, Williamson, West Virginia, Old Hospital in College Hill. We have the Girls versus Boys Paranormal Challenge, and I will tell you, you can see it live streamed on the Paranormally Blonde YouTube channel. Folks, if you have not subscribed to it, make sure you get yourself over to the Paranormal Blonde YouTube channel and subscribe today so you can watch this amazing event. They are going to have all kinds of great things happen. And of course, you're going to see Michael John and myself on the part of the halftime show. So kicking it all off. So, Michael John, brother, what's been going on, brother? What's happening?
What's happening? Oh my God, what's happening? Well, it's like the Super Bowl coming up. We are going to be part of that halftime show with the Boys versus Girls, the Get Haunted crew. And what a crew they have. You got Sarah Jane, Ravishing Rob, Dee Dee, Danny Marie. Who else? Who am I missing?
Well, we got Quimby. Kyle. We have Quimby. We, like I said, it is just amazing. Yeah, two fantastic investigators, teams going at each other, boys versus girls. The biggest thing, and you know what? To the paranormal community, this is going to be awesome. Just want to say a quick shout out before we get things going. We got Stephanie Michael watching, our good friend Mary Bassett. Welcome, Mary. It's good to see you. Chris and Bob, who we just met up at the spring.
Had dinner with.
Body, Mind, and Spirit Spring Fling this past Saturday. What an amazing event that was. Oxford, Michigan. And Ashley Walsh. Hello, Ashley. It's good to see you. Ashley is from Paranormal. So it's good to see everybody here. So,
reads like the who's who.
Absolutely. And yeah, so tonight, Michael John, we're doing a little roll call of champions before we kick off this amazing. We got two beautiful ladies coming our way. I had the privilege of meeting these two ladies at Potographs back in March, and we're so happy to have them on the show. Uh, but before that, we're going to do a little quick, what we like to call roll call of champions.
Go ahead, Dale. It's all yours.
I don't know who they are. Don't you have the names?
You don't have the list in front of you? Good
I
Lord.
don't have the list.
What's wrong with this
I
guy?
know.
It's hard to
I
find good
know.
help, folks. Let me tell you. All right. Well,
I know.
I do have the list in front of me, and this is where we do the roll call of champions. And this is going to read like the who's who of who's brand new as part of the TPV Nation. Of course, TPV Nation is also standing for the Paranormal Voice Windsor, Ontario Zone. We are the voice of the paranormal, the voice for the paranormal. Here we go. We're going to start off out of the gate with Tim Veronica Koneski. I think that's a combo. That's a couple. I'm seeing a lot more of these coming up now where couples they have their own accounts, or maybe I just haven't been paying attention. Anyways, Tim Veronica Koneski. Next one is Lydia Post. Then we have Alex Parker, Laura Bond, Al Churchill, Casey Jodas, and finally, last but not least, Karen A. Snyder. Welcome aboard to everyone here. Welcome aboard. You are now a part of all the creeps, the freaks, and weirdos that make up the TPV Nation as part of Windsor, Ontario Zone, the Paranormal Voice group page. Thank you so much, because if it wasn't for you fans, it wasn't for you coming on and signing up and joining us, we couldn't do what we do. We couldn't be who we are. So heaps of gratitude to each and every one of you from the day one, the very first person that signed up with us, joined our group, to right here, right now, to all the people everywhere that we've met, all the babies that we shook and all the hands that we kissed out there at the Paracon events, the Paracons, the Parafests, all that good stuff. And of course, all the celebrities, anybody that's ever got in front of a microphone for us to let us interview them, have them share their paranormal accounts on anything to do with the paranormal. Of course, because of you, we get to do what we do. So thank you so much to each and every one of you. And that is the roll call of champions, folks. And from there, if there's nothing else, Dale, I'd hate to miss something. If not, we'll bring our guests on with your permission, of course.
Oh, but tonight, folks, we are doing something brand new. Like these two ladies have just opened us up. We are also streaming live on their YouTube channel and on their Facebook channel. So this is crazy, folks. We are expanding. So, Michael John, let's bring these ladies out here and introduce them, please.
All right, rock and roll, folks. So blondes and booze, blondes and booze, as in boo ghosts. This was started in 2020. We got Krista Tweedy, as well as Brandy Butcher. They are going to be our guests who are coming on. These ladies love to talk about anything and everything that's weird, creepy, freaky, and so they fit right in with us here for sure. Ghosts, demons, cryptos, aliens, UFOs, metaphysics, etc., etc. I don't know what else to say about them other than, they attend paranormal and cryptid conferences. They've been around. Certainly, they've been speakers at several of these events. They also hold public events at randomly haunted locations to raise money for historical preservation. And you got to love that. So without further ado, let's bring on Miss Krista Tweedy and Brandy Butcher. Welcome to the Paranormal Voice, ladies. Great to have you.
Thank you. We appreciate
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
We
it
also
always
want to
takes the one time. It always takes the one time to mess up blondes and booze. One time.
Oh yeah,
And
everybody does. It's all good.
Everybody does it.
It's all good. We've heard it. We've heard it called worse. So.
Oh,
true.
but we also want to welcome your fans and your listeners to our channel as well, because you guys showed us before the show went on the air how we can stretch this out to be even further. So we're truly grateful for you guys showing us how to reach even a bigger audience. So we appreciate that. So welcome to all the blondes and booze YouTube fans. So thank you guys for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
They're already on here chatting and everything, so
Yeah,
they're here. Well, they're coming. They weren't expecting us tonight.
Right.
Oh, well, that's good. Surprises are good. Just like in the paranormal world, you never know when something's going to happen. So this is perfect.
Right.
Right. Well,
Absolutely.
Krista and I, we do Thursday nights and then we do Friday nights, but I also do
What time
Texas
do you
Front,
do your shows, please?
8 p.m. Central.
Okay.
And, I also do Monday nights with Tex on Texas Front Porch, and she does brunch with Bigfoot Michigan Rob at 12 p.m. Central on Thursday afternoons. So they're like, well, you don't come on Wednesdays, about every day but Wednesday.
And here we are. We threw you into the mix and we help you to be on the air on a Wednesday. So there you go, folks. We're helping you fill in that boredom gap. What else would you rather watch than watch these two amazing ladies do what they do? So yes, no, but we're very happy to have you on board. I met you guys at Pottergraphs this past March, and wow, and I was so blown away by what you guys were telling me. I was like, yeah, we need these ladies on the show because you're part of very few people that actually talk a lot about the cryptid world. And
Yeah.
my co-host over there is a cryptid freak. So I mean, if I don't get to talk a lot, is because this guy will take over the show because he just
Hold it
loves
hostage.
everything cryptid.
Me too.
So
I do remember you saying that.
Yeah.
I do remember you saying that Michael likes his cryptids. So,
oh yeah, he's the only guy in the world that I know is going to sleep listening to Dogman stories.
Dogman Encounters Radio.
Me too.
okay. So, yeah.
Okay, well, I'm just going to take myself out of the show. You guys have a great night. I will watch from the sidelines and cheer you guys on. So let's find out more about you two. So you've got this amazing podcast, Blondes and Booze, started in 2020, which kind of very similar to us because we started this during the pandemic as well. Like what else could we do? But what really got you guys into, say, the paranormal or the cryptid world? Whatever one got you guys interested first, let us know.
So my history with the paranormal goes way back. I've always been into it. I had a grandma that was into a lot of weirdness, and I was actually in high school walking through the halls, and I had a friend. We were walking through the halls, and it was a new school, and I seen this old man walk down the hall, and I asked her. I said, "Wonder what he's doing here." I kind of laughed about it, and she's like, "What are you talking about?" So I'm like, "That's kind of weird." So I went home and I talked to my grandma, and she said sometimes we see things that others don't see. So that was my first encounter with the paranormal, and then since then I was on a paranormal team for many years.
Yep.
And I left that team and went to another team that I'm now present with Brandy, and so we do that, and then I really hear, I don't know, probably I had a Bigfoot encounter, and so now I am just drawn everything cryptid.
Okay, we're gonna touch base on that cryptid, your Bigfoot encounter up the road of the interview here, but I want to back up. Grandma sounds like she was a huge supporter and encouraged you with your gifts, which that's a big statement because how many people get put down and shot down? That's your imagination, and they bury it and they suppress it. So I'm getting chills just talking. Kudos to your grandma for supporting you on that. I wanted to ask Krista, when you were in high school there, how old were you when you saw that your first?
I was probably like maybe 15.
Okay.
Like that.
And nothing before that.
Not that really sticks out. No, I was one of those kids though that I had one of those canopy beds back in the 70s.
Yeah.
I would lay in the middle, and I would have people in the room, or so I thought. But now I have since learned, like there's roamers and there's things like that. And I used to beg my mom and dad to stay up until I went to sleep. So
wow.
So yeah, it goes way back, but it's just been part of, and then for many years, nothing ever happened. I never did anything with it. And then I have a friend who has a house that is very active, and we called in and did an investigation there with my ex paranormal team, and that's how I met them. And I just jumped all hands into it, and that was back in 2006. So
Okay. And you can tell there's definitely a closeness between yourself and Brandy, because as you're sharing these stories and these experiences, Brandy's over there going, yep, mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Brandy could probably tell it just as well as you do.
Probably
sure.
so.
So Brandy, your turn. What was your first experience? What got you into this?
I don't even remember a first experience. My story, I think, is unique. My mom, my great aunts, different family members were all involved with this before I even was born. So when I came along, it was just kind of like, it's just something we do. I'd tell my mom something, or I'd say something or see something, and she'd like, yeah, it happens. It
So
was just
your
like,
mom,
it was second nature, no big deal. It was just nothing. Um, and then I was with Krista. We were up at her house, and it was probably about midnight. We're like, yeah, let's go sit outside. It was a nice night. I'm like, okay, it's midnight. Let's do it. So we got out there and we were talking, and she's like, so what are your thoughts on dogmen? My eyes got really big. I was like, yeah. It's like, now you have my attention. Yeah.
right.
I grew up in Michigan. Of course, there's dogmen, Bigfoot, all the stories. I grew up with them. That was really, that was just second nature for me. So when she started talking about that, I'm like, I found my soulmate.
Right. How cool is that? Oh my God. And it sounds like you also had the encouragement and support from family members as well.
Oh yeah. My dad, not so much. He just kind of would look at me kind of silly. But my mom, yeah, it was just like second nature. It was just like having another conversation in the house, like, what did you have for dinner?
Yeah.
Fantastic. Wow.
And her mom even watches our shows and everything.
Yeah, she does. And she's sitting right over here.
I love it. Well, hello, Mom.
She said
Absolutely. No, you know what, and I think that makes things so much easier growing up if you have like somebody around you that's supporting something that you're experiencing, instead of just saying, "Oh, you're just weird. Go sleep. Just go to bed," or something like that. But yeah, no, it's always great when you can have somebody that's around you that it'll give you that support, or kind of help you grow your weirdness, as we like to say it here. But yeah, no, but wow, I'm just staring at this chat over here. We've got Frank. Hello, Frank.
Oh my God, Frank Robert. We never see Frank Robert on our chat ever. I love that guy. He's been a huge supporter. We got to say hello to Frank for sure.
Hi, Frank.
Very lucky with him.
And absolutely, we have Miss Sarah V from Paranormally Blonde and Get Haunted, who was all a part of the Boys versus Girl Challenge that's happening this Saturday. So get over there to Paranormally Blonde and make sure you subscribe to their channel so you can watch this amazing event this coming Saturday. But yeah, no. So growing up in Michigan, it's like every time we're over in Michigan, we always find people that have the greatest Dogman or Bigfoot stories.
No kidding.
It's like, it's like, wow, it's like a hotbed over there. So where you guys are from, like, is there a lot of Dogman stories up that way? Or is that, I just seem to think like this must be a Michigan thing.
No, absolutely not.
They're pretty active, and I think I don't want to misquote this, but I believe there are dogman sightings in all 50 states except for Hawaii.
But, what did they have? Should we ask?
Yeah, right. But Missouri, we like to say that because of the cave systems and things like that, that we have a lot of cryptid encounters here. That you hear so many stories. I'm like I said, Krista said, I'm right at the bottom of the Missouri Arkansas border, right there. And
Okay.
I live in flatlands, but I'm really close to the Mark Twain forest.
Mhm.
So the national forest. So, you hear about that all the time because
You're also you're also
that
not
forest
far
is expansive.
from Ozark National Scenic Riverways, I think it is too, and there's a lot of reports down that area too.
Yeah, there's a ton. But then you go directly to my west about 3 hours, then you hit the Springfield area and all of that, which that is just that the stories coming out of there happen all the time. It seems like every time I turn around.
Yeah, yeah.
So, Brandy or Krista, have you ever purposely gone out to look for Bigfoot or Dogman? Please say yes. Oh God.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yes.
You're so awesome.
Yes.
And we're going again.
Really?
Plans to
Really?
go again
And
in the very near future.
Yeah.
now, what about it? Now, were you successful? Did you get any evidence? Did you get some audio? Anything?
So we went with some pretty good cryptid researchers, and our first time, I don't know if you're familiar with any of the cryptid people or not, but
A couple.
we went with Martin Groves. He has a fantastic story of what happened at the Land Between the Lakes. And he's a retired police officer, and his encounter happened in 1993. And
Wow.
we were fortunate to, Brandy and I, be sitting next to Martin Groves, and we were there with our friend Barton Nunley. And
I have a sketch of his up on my wall.
Cool. They're good people, very
Sorry.
good people. And yep, that's that. That's
Oh my God. Stop.
Like, don't get me started.
that there that Brandy has is the one that Martin saw. That is the
Wow.
BL.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so we were fortunate that evening of sitting around the fire, and Barton has his Inhumanoids with Barton Nunley on YouTube, and he was filming Martin tell his story. And so before they was starting to get dark, and we seen, honestly, I can't tell you, and Brandy can't tell you, I can't tell you if it was a dog man, a Bigfoot, or a shadow person, but something was peeking out of trees, and then it would come out this side. However, what was odd to me is that the trees weren't real wide, but you didn't see anything on like that side. I don't know. It was just weird. And then after that, and it wasn't just me that saw that. Brandy saw it. Everybody around camp saw it as well.
Wow.
And then after that, we were seeing these weird orbs all throughout the night. Brandy's seen different ones than I saw, and I saw the one I saw was a reddish orangish, and it was about the size of a beach ball.
Yes.
So,
oh my God. Stop.
That was our first research out in the woods, and that was at the Land Between the Lakes. So,
and what's interesting with what you're saying with, when it was the figure, if you will, was kind of going back and forth on the tree. And I mean, there's a theory that these cryptids are both interdimensional. They both have telepathic abilities. Many people have said, "Oh, it didn't move, but I heard it talking to me. It was telling me you don't belong here. You need to go."
Yeah.
That's from a Dogman story. I'm just kind of quoting off the top of my head. But then the beach ball size orbs, that's another one, right? And then let's go next level. You see people say they see UFOs.
Right.
Next to come is the orbs, right?
Yeah.
And then next to come is one or the other, the Bigfoot or the Dogman. You never see them together, because if Dogman's around, I know Bigfoot clans will take right off. They want nothing to do with Dogman. And then the shadow figures. That's the coup de grace of all that, the whole shadow figure thing. Oh my God. I don't know what the relevancy there is. I mean, if you could shed some light on that as a theory, please go ahead.
Honestly, I was always, and Brandy was too, and I don't mean to speak for Brandy, but we were flesh and blood girls, just strictly, these things are some kind of unidentified, not founded ape of America. And since we've been talking to some really reputable people, some really great people. We've been researching with some fantastic people, and what we saw, I'm kind of, that's why our Friday night shows are Blondes and Booze and the Woo. We've kind of went to the woo side because of, I personally don't believe that they are just flesh and blood any longer.
No,
I like that.
I mean, there's so many questions about how, you might see a footstep or two and then it's just gone. There's nothing.
Mhm.
Or, many people are talking about portals and
Yeah.
things like things that are people are finding that are tangible, such as hair and footprints and things
Right.
like that. But you can't track them.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
So that's the problem. I mean, you are very lucky to run up on a Bigfoot or Dogman in the first place. Well, I wouldn't call that
Mhm.
lucky, but you're lucky to run up on one. But
Mm.
the meeting is brief. And then
Yep.
next thing you know, it's gone. It's
Yeah.
just completely gone. There's nothing. So, I mean, there's a lot of questions, and of course we're
Mhm.
looking for all the answers. That's why we're out there.
Yeah.
When you mention footprints, for example, so a friend of mine in Dale's that I friended through just doing what we're doing, his name is Mike Patterson, and he's out of
Mhm.
Ontario, where we're from. He's out in
Mhm.
Kawartha Lakes. You heard of him?
Mhm. I have.
I have not.
I have.
Okay, so Mike has pictures, for example, like he's been in touch with a family of Bigfoot for over a decade now. He knows their names. The head
Mhm.
clan name member name is Nefertiri. He calls him Nef. It's a male. He's approximately, if he believes, he's never seen him in the flesh, maybe like a shadow or whatever at the most. He believes about 13 feet high. But if
Mhm.
he wants a footprint, he'll think about a footprint, and then all of a sudden in the snow, there's one footprint. There's nothing else. It's just like a footprint was laid there.
Wow.
That's
You know,
exactly what I'm
Yeah.
saying.
right?
That's
That's what
exactly
I'm
what
saying.
I'm saying.
Yes, yes.
How can
Mhm.
that
Um,
happen?
Yeah.
Exactly. He's also got audio of Neff saying Mike to him and other words. And they also
Mhm.
talk in a Native American language. And I have it up on my wall here. That's why I'm looking. Hold on, let me turn my light on just so I can read real quick the couple I have up there. So they call themselves the Mushtaba. And
Mhm.
then that means that's what they are, the clan, right? And then another one he had heard, he was told Ninadadwa, which means get out of here. Basically, he was being told to leave because he was, I forget, he was told to leave. That's basically what it means. But yeah, a couple things like that. But he also gets this one thing that happens to him a lot. And it was funny. We met Ronnie LeBlanc
Mhm.
of Expedition Bigfoot at
Yeah.
the UFO Contact Convention out in Lake Michigan. And we got talking to Ronnie, and I brought up Mike Patterson. And Mike Patterson has this phenomenon where they drop marbles for him out of midair, even when
Wow.
he's not in where he sees them all the time in Court Lakes at his own apartment in the city. A marble will drop out of thin air, and
Mhm.
he's seen it countless times. He's got eyewitnesses for days to this phenomenon as well.
Wow.
And Ronnie, uh, he goes, "Yeah, I know him very well." He goes, "I wrote about him in my book because he taught me how to get them to do this phenomenon for myself and give me marbles." And he went on to explain that. Mike's got like thousands of marbles, but if you haven't heard of Mike Patterson, it's Sasquatch, Ontario. Please
Mhm.
check him out and his evidence. He doesn't hold anything back. I mean, we've been very fortunate to have him on a couple times on our show as well. But that's going back to landing the plane. I'm sorry, I can take off on these topics. But yeah, the footprint all by itself, like you're saying, and there's no rhyme or reason where it came from. Boom, there it is.
Mhm. Wow.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's amazing.
Mhm.
I'll have to look them up. I'll have to write it down here. I'm not in my office, so I have nothing. I'm just like, I got nothing. Usually I have notes and I'm taking notes. Anytime
Mhm.
we have a guest on and they mention something or we're being
Yes.
interviewed, if they say something, I'm always writing it down so I can look it up later.
Yep.
Yeah, no, actually, Mike Patterson is pretty amazing. Like, yeah, just the evidence. Like he's got it on his YouTube channel. Like he posts at least, if not weekly, monthly, of just stuff that he gets
Blow your
from
mind.
when
It'll
he's
blow your
going
mind.
out. Oh yeah,
Wow.
absolutely. Just want to take a quick second, recognize everybody who's in the chat room saying hello. We also got our good friend Adam, who is a Black Swamp medium
Adam, love you, buddy.
from
You know,
Swippy.
can you
He
guys?
says he's had two Dogman encounters.
Yeah, I saw
So we're
that.
gonna have to talk about Adam about that because wow, I
Yes.
mean, yeah, he we're up where he lives. Yeah, I mean, absolutely. But
Can you
but
guys see the ones that are on our side on our chat? Can you guys see?
oh yep, there they are. We got the midnight West night or what
Midwest
Midwest
Night Watchers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Watchers. We got Sugar Britches. We
Yes.
got Nana Boss. We
Yeah.
have
Love that name.
Pat Murphy, Gary Spike Sr.,
Mhm.
Chiro Sound.
Hero
Wow.
sounds.
Uh,
Chiro.
Tiro. That's
Chiro.
actually.
Chiro.
So yeah. Where else
Gene
did I
Hudson.
see
Did we
that?
get
Oh,
Gene Hudson?
we
Yeah.
got Jeanette Martin. Who else do we got? Crystal McGee,
Mhm.
Maggie,
The
Gene
Nona
Hudson.
Boss
Yeah.
Continuum.
Yeah.
Yes. Wow. Yeah. No. Now that I've clicked on comments, I'm like, what is all these numbers clicking up here? I'm like, whoa, I'm learning way too much tonight, but this is amazing. It's but yeah, no, with me and Michael John, like we just started, like, well, for me anyways, Michael John's been a part of this for a while,
Mhm.
but the whole crossover between Bigfoot and aliens is, and watching the whole Expedition Bigfoot series, there was a few times where they had on a thermal imaging camera image, and then it would just disappear out of nowhere. There 1 second, and when you guys were talking about the orb thing, I remember they had a Bigfoot across the water from them on a thermal imager, and be just above the head, you can see these balls of light
Mhm.
just circling around this creature's head.
Right.
And I was like that's all quite fascinating. How, yeah, they can just come in and out, and
Mhm.
it's like
Yeah.
amazing. Like, there's so much out there.
Oh, there
So
definitely is. We like I said, my thinking has done a whole 360, on what I think Bigfoot is, and I do believe there's some sort of interdimensional being. I think some are flesh and blood. I don't believe that they all are. And same thing with Dogman. Yeah.
right.
So it's just
We just had an interesting question come through here from Chris and Bob. Do you think Bigfoot uses portals?
we
Some
do.
do.
Yeah, we do.
Yes, I
Yeah.
do. Yes, absolutely.
That's
I
part of
don't
our
think they
moon
can.
side.
Yeah, I don't think they could just disappear. I
Mhm.
don't think they're just climbing up trees or hiding behind
Yeah.
trees, or I think they are literally using some kind of transport portals to move.
Mhm. Yep. Yeah, we do. And it's funny, I see the Nana boss, she's in chat. She's a good friend of ours, and
Yep.
she's woo as well. So we love her. Great.
Yes.
We're glad to be on the woo train.
The woo train.
No, that's no, and just, yeah, I mean, to be able to just be able to leave an area, and especially when you're out there, you're looking, it's like you hear something, you see something, and then it's gone, and you don't hear footsteps. Obviously, a creature that large would definitely make a sound. Like, if it decided to run, it would definitely make a sound.
Yeah.
And it's like gone, just out of nowhere.
I
So
will tell you, and maybe Brandy can tell this story since I said the last one. When we were sitting around the campfire, Brandy, the footsteps we heard. You want to tell them about that?
Ooh.
The ones behind Letitia.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, because Martin Groves was doing an interview and it was being
Mhm.
recorded, and we were trying to all be quiet. There's a
Yeah.
bunch of us. It's hard for anybody to be quiet when there's a big group, especially when we're all adults and like to talk. But we're all sitting there, and all you can hear is, the crackle of the fire, and we were all being real quiet. Next thing you know, you could hear the rustling of the leaves, like something walking up behind
Nice.
her.
Wow.
And she turned around, she looked, and she couldn't see anything. And she like started like really moving fast. She's like, I am not standing with my back to anything. So she's trying to move herself around to the other side with us. And there was nothing now I'm going to tell you, when we were out there at this particular time, it was so cold. I mean, it was freezing. Um, I don't think anything was out there running around.
No.
I didn't see a raccoon. I didn't see a deer. I didn't see anything after the sun went down. Not one animal did I see. Nothing.
Yeah, because we would shine a light. Like, I mean, the way like Brandy described the footsteps, it sounded like it was probably within what, 10, 15 feet of us. We
Probably.
turned the
Yeah.
flashlight and there was nothing. Nothing. But yet we all sitting around the campfire heard it.
Yeah, but you know how squirrels get playing in leaves out in the forest. It sounds like a, cattle running or something. It's just,
But we never did see a squirrel. We didn't see a
no,
fox. We didn't see a
I
raccoon.
didn't see one animal. Not one. Not one.
So quick question on that, and then I'm going to get into the comments because we've got a few questions that we need to catch up on here, which is amazing. I love this. This is great. I feel like a celebrity right now. We're so busy. But I want to ask you when you girls were hearing that, or anytime you've had an encounter, even with the being going back and forth on the tree, did you smell anything?
Nope.
No.
Wow.
I didn't. I will tell you what did happen to me though is I'm sitting on the one side and Letitia was coming to this side of me. So I'm looking straight across. Now there's kind of like a ravine and it goes way up. So I'm looking up there and that's where we saw the shadows. And I'll tell you more about the shadows, Dale. We're going to include you in just a second. Anyway, so
Yay!
we saw the shadows. And then the next thing you know, I see it looks like two eyes, like I'm seeing eye shine. They were close together. They were reddish and they were close together. And if they were orbs, they were sitting real close together, but they were just sitting there. So I'm jumping up out of my chair and I've got my jacket on and I got my phone inside my hoodie. And I'm trying to grab my phone, anything to, I don't know, take a picture. I don't know what I was trying to do. But I really was taken back by it. You know what I mean? It was just kind of like something I wasn't prepared to see. And I was not prepared to, take a photo either.
Well, and the thing was too, it wasn't just you that saw that too. There was another person there at camp that witnessed it at the same time you did.
Yeah. And then the other thing is we heard a high pitched whistle. And it was super, super loud. And I said,
Incredible.
Did anybody else hear that? I thought I was going crazy. I'm like, is anyone whistling? And I said, did anyone hear that? And they're like, yep. I was like, okay. Wow. Okay. But anyway, Dale, where we went, there are like cemeteries everywhere, just everywhere, spotted throughout this place, and this is a campgrounds, recreational area, and they're just everywhere. So do we know if it was a cryptid we were actually seeing popping out behind a tree? I don't know.
Well, however, so I went again with actually Letitia Nunnally. She's in the chat. I went with her and Barton and several other people. And it was late at night and we went to the 1982. There was a killing, they say by a dog man, a family of 4 that was slaughtered by a dog man at the Land Between the Lakes. And so we were at the kill site, at the 1982 kill site in the middle of the night. And it's about, I don't know, half mile, 3/4 mile walk to get to that location. So while we were down there, I was running an EVP recorder because I thought, if people died here, maybe we can communicate. And I was asking questions, around the killing, was it, and about Dogman. And when we heard something like scream right around with us with our ears, but I honestly believe that was more on a paranormal, a ghost level on that side of it. And then as we were walking out away from the kill site, you could hear something like following you. So, and then we walked up to where the kill site is, where we parked the vehicles, there is a cemetery. So we stayed there for a little bit and, that good stuff. However, what was really weird about that night, so I was running actually War Criminal 7, he's in chat, and it was his recorder that I was using. And I had his recorder and then another gal that was there. She was also running recorder. The next day we get back in camp and we decide to listen to them. Nothing. Gone.
Really?
Hers and mine. And we
But
both
the whole file was missing.
gone.
And that's quite common.
Yeah.
It was weird. That was weird. Because, usually with ghosts and stuff, you don't have any issues, but
Right.
yeah. So I don't know if that was like on a cryptid side that did that or the ghost side that did that. I have no idea. But
That's all right, Roar Criminal. I got you this. Next time, I got you. We ain't missing it next time.
Right. So, because I thought that would have been really cool, if we could get some answers about that 1982 killing, But yeah, it was a disappointment.
Couldn't get anything. Yeah.
Yep. So all of everything gone.
Yeah.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not the first time I've heard that relating to dogmen as well as Bigfoot. I want to go up to the questions. Dale, if you want to help me out here at 8:33 p.m., we can start there. Look up. You got to go up because there's a lot of comments and questions now. It's Terry Mosby. Let's start with them, please. I want you to get
all right. Let's see here.
I don't know if you guys said you're new to StreamYard. If you click your mouse over, you can click and you can star it, and then it will go into starred comments, and then you can go back and read the comments.
Yep.
Oh my God!
Okay.
Thank you for that.
So yeah, Terry Mosby said, "What if they are watchers sent by alien forces?" Mm-hmm. Now that is a very interesting theory for sure. Not the first time that I've heard that.
Yeah.
What would be the possibilities of like a cryptic creatures and aliens kind of working together, like to be all a part of like what's going on? Because obviously, if you really think about the paranormal umbrella, like everything is connected in some sort of way. Spirits, ghosts, energies, Bigfoot, aliens, like they all have a connection somewhere. And one of the really interesting things is something I never thought about before. Like as long as I've been investigating, doing EVPs and stuff like that, our good friend of ours, RJ DeRoos, who is one of the organizers for the UFO Contact Convention, says, okay, when you're doing EVPs and you get something, how do you know it's a spirit that's talking to you? How do you know it's not an alien talking to you? And now I'm like, wow, now you've just created a whole lot of work for me. Now I've got to go through almost 12 years of investigations to see if I can figure out somewhere, like, was this an alien or was this a ghost? Because, the technology, like, I mean, obviously aliens are way better at technology than we are. So why would they not be able to manipulate our own devices and answer questions and mimic, like, because they're extremely intelligent beings, so obviously they would know the answers.
Yeah. I personally believe that it's all intertwined. UFOs, cryptid, ghosts, all of it. I think it's all on, all together.
Well,
yeah, I couldn't agree more.
I mean, if you think about it, Terry knows, but she knows this too. Frank Sumption invented the Frank's box, which he first invented the Frank's box to talk to aliens through, a transistor radio. Well, as time went on, he figured out, hey, wait a minute, I can talk to the dead this way. I can talk to the dead. So then, years and years later, of course, he has passed away. And then, all this new technology, well, then here's the current day spirit box. Mm-hmm. So who's to say we're not talking to aliens?
Right.
That's what the box was invented for in the first place. So who knows?
Right.
Absolutely. Just want a quick shout out to some people that just popped up. We have Chris, I get Chris on the brain today. Candace Isaacson, who we were just spent a lovely weekend with over at the Body, Mind, and Spring Fling event over in Oxford, Michigan. Welcome, Candace. Glad to have you here. I just saw a question from Nana Boss. It says, I still wonder if it's paranormal or some sort of signal in the area from a 3-letter agency.
Yeah.
That's possible. That's we don't know.
Especially in that area too. There's been I personally believe there's a lot of 3-letter word agencies cover-ups in that area.
I agree.
Well, yeah. I mean, if you think about it, they just gave a soft release on the existence of aliens.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, which we already knew. So what's the next soft release they're going to give us? I don't know.
Yeah.
It's like I'm sure you follow Dave Politis Missing 411.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God, that guy is covering everything, including, I mean, the Dogman story, the one where the girl was missing for a few days, and of course, he describes how they go out to find said missing person, and this is the little girl they were looking for, and they comb the same areas multiple times. And then all of a sudden they find her. I don't know how many days it was, just for the sake of just to say, let's say it was 3 days. It would have been 6, but we'll say 3. And they find her on the 3rd day, and they're like, and she was fine, fortunately.
Yeah.
And they're like, why didn't you shout out to us? Did you see us? She's like, yeah. Why didn't you shout out to us? And she says, well, the dog man had his hand over my mouth, so I couldn't.
Wow.
How did you eat? The dog man fed me berries. Where'd your hat go? The dog man ate it. This is a Dave Politis story. I mean, like I said, I it's amazing the different stories you get just on Dogman alone. It's like humans. There's good and there's bad. You know.
Yeah.
I personally, I don't know, because I've heard a lot of stories of Dogman. I feel like if we're out there in the woods and we come across a Bigfoot or a Dogman, they could kill us at any time. There is nothing we can do to get away from them.
Absolutely.
No.
So I don't know that dogmen are per se good. However, maybe they're just not hungry at that time.
Tired. Maybe they're tired.
Yeah, or something. I don't know. I know there's a lot of people who disagree with me on that. There are good dogmen out there, but I personally, I don't think dogmen are good. Sasquatch, maybe. I believe there might be some, but I don't believe there are any good dogmen. And that's just my opinion. Don't want to upset anybody, but that's just my opinion.
I haven't heard any good stories about dogmen, period.
Okay.
I would classify them as not good. Bigfoot, on the other hand, I've heard all kinds of stories where they've actually helped people, people who are lost or, things like that.
Yeah.
I've heard more stories about Bigfoot being, more pleasant to be around, I guess, but not all. Of course, we got to think about, the Gugway and all that.
Yeah. The Gugway's in a whole other category.
What is the Gugway? I've never heard that term.
They are okay. A Gugway is the name is means face eater. So they say they look like a Sasquatch type being. They're just really, really bad. Like
kind of like the dogmen.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
similar in size as well. Are they rather ridiculously tall?
I can't really tell you a whole lot about Gugway, just very little. I haven't really studied them. However, they scare me.
It's kind of like I don't
know. Dogman, Gugway. I don't know which one I'd rather meet.
So someone's making a good point.
Off or just my guts torn out. I don't know.
Someone's making a good point on the side here. Here's a thought. I can't see who it is. I'm sorry. Here's a thought. What if these creatures are engineered and or created?
Mm-hmm. I believe that could be possible from the 3-letter agencies.
Yeah, I mean, are they a hybrid of some sort, or are they engineered? I don't know. I don't know. For dogmen, like I said, I have never heard anything good about a dogman. Not one thing. So, do I think they're a hybrid or could have been engineered? It's a good possibility.
Many theories, right? For sure.
Mm-hmm.
I love them all.
Absolutely.
I love to hear them all.
That comment came from Chris and Bob.
Chris and Bob. So that's comment. I like that.
Yep. No. And then Adam says the 2 dogmen that he had encounters with weren't good, but stood my ground, which I wasn't alone, and so many experiences at both locations. So I mean, it does sound like, I mean, I guess the dogman is like the bad part of the cryptid society, like, just like our society, we
I
have
would just say, in our
criminals
opinion,
and bad people, so why not? I guess Dogman is that.
yeah, I think that's just our opinion, because I know, like there's people in chat that, she said dogmen are nothing like Gugway, and that's their encounter. So just from what the
Sure.
stories that I have heard and the stories that I have read, that's what Brandy and I believe. Correct,
Yeah,
Brandy?
because like I said, I don't know. I've not had an encounter. I've never been face to face with one. I
No,
don't think I'd be here to talk about it,
right,
honestly.
right.
But everybody that I know who has had an encounter, it has not been a pleasant
Pleasant.
one.
Right.
Right.
Mhm.
I mean, but they survived, and I guess that I mean that classifies as a win.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Some of the stories that we've heard, we had Shaitan Noir on here, who is huge, and like some of the stuff she was telling us as well, like and how they trick people into getting close to them, just so that they can officially attack. Uh, but yeah, no, like I said, I hope in my world that I never come close. Like I often think about, because me and Michael John ourselves always talk about, hey, let's just do something and see what kind of
It's going to
encounters we can
happen.
have.
Don't even
But
worry about it.
great, great, thanks. Well, but yeah, no. Uh, Kim Wild over here says all cryptids are dimensional travelers. That's why they disappear so effectively. But
A lot of people believe that.
but yeah, no, but yeah, it's hard to believe that the Dogmen have the same capabilities as the Bigfoot. So that would mean that, like, even the Dogman is working with the aliens. Like, why would the aliens create or be associated with such a creature to
Why
begin
wouldn't
with?
they?
When you, uh, well, I guess it could. Like I said, I imagine they probably have a use for everybody.
Yeah, I don't know. We're Brandy and I, we're relatively new to the cryptid world, and some really good people have kind of taken us under their wings, and so we're still learning. We are definitely still learning.
Never stop
And
learning.
the thing is, I think you're still a newbie at 5 years, at 10 years, you're
Absolutely.
still a newbie.
Yeah,
Yes. There's
These people that we talk to have been doing this for decades.
yeah.
They've been looking for decades, and I
Mhm.
couldn't. I all I can say is that I'm researching it. That's all I can say is I'm researching it.
Yeah, and that's why we like going out, because we want to have these encounters ourselves. Same thing
Mhm.
with doing
sure.
a ghost hunt, or I mean, same thing. So we want to go out to in the woods, and
Yeah. And so we like it all. We'll take the woods, or we'll take an abandoned hospital. We don't care. Just
doesn't
bring it
matter.
on. Bring it on. We're good.
From ghosts to cryptids, what do you guys want to do first? Adam just said, where's Adam's comment? Says Adam says, I even have a partial photo of the one at his second encounter.
Adam, I
So
want to see
Adam,
that. Oh my God.
We are going to get you on the show.
Jeez.
We're going to talk cryptids with you, my friend. But yeah, no, like I said, and I don't think anybody can ever claim. It's just like the paranormal world. Nobody is ever an expert on what
Right.
they do, because you're
Absolutely.
always learning. You're
Yep.
always finding out new stuff. Like, it's a passion. It's great. You're out there. You're doing it. You're bringing this all out for the world to see, and we love these people, because
Mhm.
you know what, who better to learn than somebody who is passionate about out there trying to get all the answers, just like we are
Yep.
trying to get out all the spirits in the world. Like, what makes a place haunted? Why is this person evil? Why is that person not evil? Like,
Mhm.
it's always the same thing in the paranormal world, is that why are some spirits bad, called demons? Not that I believe that there are any demons out there. They are just very pissed off people.
Mhm.
Some of the comments.
It's. Go ahead, Michael.
Yeah,
Sorry.
sorry. So some of the comments on the side here, trying to keep up with this. So they are all a part of that. Hi, Cryptidville. Hold on here. Let me get this right here. So, has the dog man raised the story of werewolves? And I want to say something on that. I mean, there's some stories out there where they say, and I think Dale was alluding to it a little bit earlier, where dogmen will try to trick you to lure you into where they're at, like the sound of a crying baby or a woman screaming.
Yeah.
And then I heard this story where if you get close enough and they get you, um, this again, it's all theory, and I wish I could quote where I heard it from. I'm always listening to stuff, right? Podcast stuff, but where they will basically rape you and you become a dog man. And that's how they get out of being a dog man. It's like a catch 22, but it's a theory. So just to answer that, has Dogman raised the story of werewolves? That's what I kind of know about it. But I mean, please give us your
That's new to
comments, of
me.
course, ladies.
I haven't ever heard of that. So that's
I haven't either.
yeah, like Jean
Okay.
Hudson in our chat, she says dogmen and werewolves are two different things. I also believe they are two different things. I don't believe dogmen can turn human, where werewolf, I think, they're human and then they turn into the werewolf.
I'm not too sold on the whole werewolf thing myself, but but that's just me. Someone else is saying totally believe they are part of alien theory. All aliens are not good. No different than humans here, of course. Howdy, folks. Hi, Sheldon. Hey, Sheldon. Sheldon's popular. Hey, at the Nona Boss Continuum. Hey, Sheldon. Gene Hudson saying you have to remember that when you learn from someone, you're only learning what they have. Lots of people with other experiences out there. Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely.
There are no experts, regardless of what some
Right.
folks might say. Exactly.
Right.
Agree.
Look into finding out the statistical probability of aliens and Bigfoot's biggest being seen same time. Biggest being seen at the same time, right? Aliens and Bigfoots. Yeah, I agree with that. That's a common thing. Mostly people say those two go together like peas and carrots kind of thing. Exactly. Love these ladies doing what they do. Dogman and werewolves are two different things. Okay. Talk to John Tenney, Andrea Perrin. They have spoke about this. I believe John Tenney has stats. Knowing John Tenney, he probably does. That guy knows everything about everything. Closest thing to an expert you'll ever get to is that man for sure. Great storyteller. Anything that uses deception is not from a good place mindset wise. I know nothing about anything, by the way. Very humble, Cryptidville, very humble. And that's where we're at with that, folks. But yeah, I can't believe this hour has flown by so quick here, Dale.
I know. I'm just enjoying just learning so much more about the cryptid world, and this is why we love having people on here that talk about cryptid, because that is one of the ones that I'm leaning more towards of finding more fascinating than ghosts. I've been hunting ghosts now for the past over a decade now. Not to say that I don't mind going into new places and finding stories and in the whole thing. But with me, I love the outdoors. Being somebody who loves being out camping, like I could live in a tent if you really let me to.
Right.
But maybe I'd come up with a whole lot more Bigfoot stories if I actually went and lived in a tent for a while. But
I'll
at
take
the
a
same
cabin,
time,
thank you.
oh yeah,
You can have the tent.
that's glamping for me. I give me a tent. I love the old fashioned stuff, but no, like I said, it's been an amazing hour. We definitely have to get you ladies back on here once again.
Definitely.
Talk even more stories. It was, like I said, it's such a great pleasure, to have amazing people like you guys. So, for TPV Nation, if you haven't already, go check out their YouTube channel, Blondes and Booze and Woos. That happens every Friday night and throughout the week.
Yep.
So
Every Thursday and Friday night. Yep.
Yeah.
Every Thursday, Friday night. There you go. You got your entertainment. These two ladies have definitely got an interesting program, so check them out.
Appreciate it.
And
ladies, I want to ask real quick though, where are you going to be next? I know you guys do personal appearances. Where can anybody viewing right now, anybody out there that even watches the replay, etc., they're heading out to a Parafest or a Paracon. Where are you ladies going to be next, please, so we know?
We have where are we? Oh, Alabama Bigfoot
Alabama.
Conference, and that is June 10th, I believe. And then we will we have our own event we are actually doing at Malvern Manor, and it's an overnight. And we
In
have
Iowa.
in Iowa. Yeah, we have special guest Josh Hurd, who owns the place. He's going to stick around with us. We have Dr. Rebecca Foster is going to come
Oh,
over there too,
nice.
and Richard Estep. He's going to be there too. So, and he's bringing books and you know, that he's wrote on Malvern. So, and then we have Tex with Texas Front Porch. Our friend Terry that's been in chat. She is a UFO gal. And,
CE5 out of Illinois. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. So
Awesome.
we will be doing that. And then in July, we have the Bigfoot Conference in Gatlinburg, Tennessee. And then the next big one we have will be Labor Day weekend. We are going to the Dogman Conference in Fort Worth, Texas.
Now, last but not least, the big question. If someone wants to reach out to you, they think they have a Bigfoot or a dog man that's peering in their window at night, for example. How can they reach out to you, get in contact with you? And if they can't, you know, if they can't make use of you, you could obviously direct them to someone that can help them, depending on the area. How do they reach out to you, ladies?
They can email us at blondesandbooze@gmail.com or go on our Facebook group, and then they can contact us through there too.
Right through Messenger. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Absolutely. Absolute pleasure having you ladies. It was a great time talking. I look forward to getting you guys back on here and talking more up the road. With that, Michael John, we will see you on the other side. And in the meantime, and in between time, what do we like to say here, Michael John?
Happy hauntings.
See y'all.